Alright folks, today we're diving into one of the most critical aspects of survival, avoiding deadly mistakes. When you're out in the wild, far from the comforts of civilization, a single wrong decision can mean the difference between life and death. Let's get started with the top 5 most fatal survival errors. We'll count down from number 5 to the most dangerous mistake you can make. Pay close attention because these tips could save your life one day. Starting off with number 5. Eating unknown plants or fruits. Imagine you're stranded, your stomach is growling, and you come across some berries or leaves that look like they might be edible. It's tempting to take a bite, but this is a huge gamble. Many plants and fruits in the wild are toxic and can cause severe illness or even death. The symptoms of poisoning can include vomiting, diarrhea, hallucinations, and in severe cases, organ failure. To avoid this, it's crucial to have a basic understanding of foraging and to only consume what you're absolutely sure is safe. A good rule of thumb is to avoid anything with white or yellow berries, as these are often poisonous. Remember, it's better to be hungry than to risk poisoning. If you're unsure, perform a universal edibility test, but remember, it's a time-consuming process and should only be used as a last resort. Additionally, carrying a field guide to edible plants can be a lifesaver, providing you with the knowledge needed to identify safe options in the wild. Always err on the side of caution and prioritize safety over immediate hunger. Learning about local flora before venturing into an unknown area can also be incredibly beneficial, giving you a head start on what to look for and what to avoid. Next up at number 4 is drinking contaminated water. Dehydration can quickly become a serious issue in a survival situation, but drinking untreated water from rivers, lakes, or streams can introduce harmful bacteria, viruses, and parasites into your system. This can lead to severe illnesses like giardiasis, cholera, and dysentery, which can be debilitating and even fatal if untreated. Always carry a water purification method with you, whether it's water purification tablets, a portable filter, or a simple method like boiling water. Boiling is the most reliable method. Just make sure you let it boil for at least 1 minute to kill off any pathogens. In high altitudes, boil for 3 minutes. You can also use UV light purifiers or even household bleach in small amounts if necessary. In an emergency, knowing how to use natural materials to create a basic filter can also be a lifesaver. Remember, never underestimate the importance of clean drinking water. It's the cornerstone of your survival. Additionally, understanding how to find natural sources of clean water, such as morning dew or rainwater collected in a makeshift container, can be vital. Always have multiple methods of water purification at your disposal, ensuring that you can adapt to various situations and keep yourself hydrated safely. Learning to identify signs of water sources in the landscape, such as green vegetation or animal tracks, can also guide you to safer drinking options. Want to learn more about the best water purification methods? Check out our comprehensive guide in the comments to ensure you're always prepared to stay safe and hydrated in any survival situation. Don't wait until it's too late. Moving on to number 3, we have wasting energy unnecessarily. When you're in a survival scenario, conserving energy is paramount. Every action you take should be deliberate and necessary. Whether it's hiking to find shelter, gathering firewood, or hunting for food, you need to be mindful of your energy expenditure. Overexertion can lead to exhaustion, dehydration, and an increased risk of injury. Plan your activities and pace yourself. If you're in a group, assign tasks based on each person's strengths and current energy levels. This not only ensures efficiency, but also helps in maintaining morale and teamwork. Foraging for food should not take precedence over finding shelter or clean water. It's essential to balance your energy expenditure with your immediate survival needs. Remember, slow and steady wins the race in survival situations. Always have a rest plan, and never push your body beyond its limits. Consider the time of day and weather conditions when planning your activities to avoid the hottest parts of the day and conserve energy. Proper rest and maintaining a steady pace can make a significant difference in your overall endurance and chances of survival. Also, creating a schedule for activities can help distribute energy use more evenly throughout the day, preventing burnout and ensuring that critical tasks are completed efficiently. Coming in at number 2 is taking unnecessary risks. In the wild, your primary objective is to stay alive and get rescued. This means avoiding actions that put you in greater danger. For example, climbing a tree to get a better view might seem like a good idea, but a fall could result in broken bones or other injuries. Similarly, crossing a fast-moving river can be extremely hazardous. Evaluate the risks versus the benefits of each decision you make. Always ask yourself, is this risk worth taking? Are there safer alternatives? If you're uncertain, it's often better to err on the side of caution. Additionally, navigating unknown terrain without proper preparation or equipment can lead to accidents. Always have a plan and stick to it as closely as possible. Avoiding unnecessary risks is about staying calm and thinking logically rather than acting on impulse. When in doubt, consider the long-term consequences of your actions. For example, instead of risking a dangerous climb or crossing, spend the extra time finding a safer route. Your safety should always be your top priority, even if it means taking longer to achieve your objectives. It's also wise to establish a communication plan if you're in a group, ensuring that everyone is aware of potential hazards and agrees on the safest course of action. Finally, the number one most fatal survival mistake is hypothermia. Hypothermia occurs when your body loses heat faster than it can produce it, causing your core temperature to drop to dangerous levels. This can happen even in relatively mild conditions if you're wet, exposed to wind, or without proper clothing. Early symptoms include shivering, confusion, and loss of coordination. As it progresses, shivering stops, and you may experience a sense of warmth, a deadly illusion. To prevent hypothermia, prioritize staying dry and warm. Dress in layers, and if you get wet, change into dry clothing as soon as possible. Build a shelter to protect yourself from the elements, and always have a reliable way to start a fire. Hypothermia can set in quickly, and once it does, it becomes much harder to reverse. Recognize the signs early and take immediate action to warm up. Use insulated materials to create barriers against the cold ground and wind. Always carry emergency blankets and fire-starting tools in your survival kit. Also, avoid sitting directly on cold surfaces and use natural insulation such as leaves or pine needles to create a barrier. In extreme conditions, share body heat with others and ensure that your shelter is well insulated to retain warmth. Hypothermia is a silent killer that requires constant vigilance and preparedness. Ensuring your shelter is waterproof and windproof is also essential to maintaining body heat. In addition, knowing how to signal for help in cold conditions can expedite rescue efforts and reduce the time you spend exposed to the elements. In summary, survival in the wild requires knowledge, caution, and common sense. Avoiding these top 5 fatal mistakes, eating unknown plants or fruits, drinking contaminated water, wasting energy, taking unnecessary risks, and succumbing to hypothermia can significantly increase your chances of making it out alive. Equip yourself with the right tools, stay informed, and always be prepared for the unexpected. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more survival tips and tricks. Stay safe out there. Remember, the more you know, the better prepared you'll be to face the challenges of the wild. Stay vigilant, stay smart, and most importantly, stay alive. Knowledge is your greatest ally. So continue learning and practicing essential survival skills to ensure you're ready for any situation.